I'm Jonas, and as I'm sure Zadai mentioned to you, these presentations are all geared towards giving us, presenting abilities that we can use in college. And I've heard Ms. Saras talk about how alumni from the program have come back from college and told her that the presentations really helped. That when they had to give presentations in their classes, they've been more able to do so than their classmates, and it's really helpful along the way. So in the beginning, I'm not exactly sure what I told you, but in the beginning of the school year, we for the first few presentations, we work with our lab partner on the presentations, and we switch on and off during the presentations. But most of the presentations that we give throughout the year are solo. They're done solo, so we really get a chance to really excel as far as our presenting abilities go. And again, those are very useful. And the topics range from simple biology to very complex mechanisms that we go in depth on during the year. And at the end of the first semester, we're actually we're supposed to choose a lab that actual scientists have done, and read it, understand it, and basically translate it for our classmates at Sinai, and present it in the form of a PowerPoint presentation in a way that they can understand, significance of the lab, what it's doing, what it's saying. And this might sound easy, but you have to keep in mind that it's done by actual scientists, so they don't bother explaining all the little things, because it's understood that other scientists will understand it. So obviously we have to do a lot of work, decoding all that stuff, like what is this talking about, and it's very rewarding at the end though.
Okay. Hi, I'm William Chaplin, and we do more than just labs and seminars. We also we participate in debates. We have guest speakers who help inform us in greater depth than what we would normally cover ourselves. And then we also have occasionally we work with other students of a younger age that we help mentor and teach, just to really reinforce the ideas that we learned earlier that day or earlier some days before. So for instance, the debates that we've touched on the usage of genetically modified foods and organisms in our food supply and in the way that we grow things. We've had debates about cloning, trying to see, and obviously because we're such a diverse group, everyone has a different opinion, and so we really get to hear each other's side because it's so well organized, and because we really split it up based on their opinions more than just what we want to do. And then in terms of guest speakers, we've had Dr. Palese, who's the head of the microbiology department at Mount Sinai, come in and talk to us. And some of you may know him. He was one of the main leaders in the creation of the H1N1 vaccine. And so he came and talked to us about his work with the virus, how he helped develop the vaccine, how he worked with H1N1, and he really tried to tie it back to just what we had been learning previously about cell structure, virus structure, and all of that good stuff. Then finally, on the point of mentoring other students, we every so often we work with middle schoolers, about 8th grade, and we work with them attempting to reinforce ideas that we've learned. For instance, we dissect various organs, so we identify the parts of the organ, and we do that the days before, and then we reinforce that idea by working with those students in helping them identify them in turn. And again, that's a really good learning experience, because being able to teach something almost is better than just learning it straight from a book, because the experience is what really helps get the idea into your brain and helps it stay there. So yeah, so we do all of that stuff besides just seminars and labs.
Yeah, so my peers talked about a final project that we have. So after our first semester, the final project, we do another final project around this time when we get to conduct our own experiment, and it's really nice because we are able to use all of the abilities that we have learned throughout the year. Presentation and lab skills especially, because for example, depending on what experiment you want to conduct, you may need help from other people who are working in the hospital, but you can't just go blindly in there. You have to know some stuff as a background. So it really helps to know all of the lab abilities, and you get to conduct your experiment and learn a lot. lot of stuff.
Okay, so I mean, after your first year of fundamentals, you go into your senior year that I have, and we get to pick almost any department in the entire hospital and become an intern there. It's your placement. You go there every day for an afternoon and spend your time shadowing either a doctor or there's two different sides to it. Clinical, which is with the doctors, with the nurses, with the patients, or research, which is with the cells and with all the equipment that you get to. I honestly couldn't tell you because I'm in clinical, but I have friends who are like one of my colleagues is working with cardiomyocytes, that's heart cells from rats, and trying to develop how they would function with different levels of things put into them so that you can improve human treatments. And in clinical, I myself have last semester gone through geriatric psychiatry, which was very interesting, getting to interact with different patients, and now I'm in pediatrics, interacting with the children. So I have other friends who are in anesthesiology, working in neurosurgery, in the morgue, all different types of things.
Morgues, actually.
Any questions?
Okay, so basically this is an overview about the program, so we are open to any questions that you will have to me or to the kids.
Well, I'll ask a question since it usually comes up. What are some of the things you give up to go into the Sinai program, and what are some of the benefits besides, going to the ice cream?
Okay, so in your junior year, what you would generally take as your science course is a physics class, and instead of having that as an hour-and-a-half long course like the other students do, because you spend your morning every day, and not just on A days or something like that, every day at Mount Sinai, you come here and you take it as your elective course. So that's 45 minutes in the middle of the day, every day. There's that you give up your gym class for your junior and senior year, and in the senior year, they just modified it this year. Seniors weren't allowed to take AP German, but that is now an elective course. So that's the 45-minute period in the middle of the day, every day. Am I missing anything?
Mr. DEL.
Oh, yeah. Well, yeah, you opt out of all your engineering courses.
Yes, all the engineering courses.
Digital electronics,
Sorry, Michelle.
principles of engineering, and then...
What about things like after-school activities, teams, clubs?
You don't miss anything.
No, you can.
It's if you have the drive to be part of a club, you make sure that your schedule, especially senior year.
Senior year because you go there in the afternoon, so that's being here in the morning, going to Mount Sinai, and if you have a club, returning to school.
And junior year, we're here already, so there's no problem with it. The only things that we need to be kept up to date with what's going on, because we can't hear the announcements in the morning, and we don't see the poster sometimes. Like today, we didn't know that we were supposed to be. Some of us had to go to a lunch meeting with Klein, so we're kept out of the loop. But other than that, it's okay.
And seniors generally in the engineering program get out at 2:05. They get to miss their last period class. We don't get to do that. We maintain a 2-hour, 2.5. Huh? 2.5. Oh yeah, 2.5. Sorry. Whoa. 2.5 hours in your placement every single day. So that's we generally would get to Mount Sinai at like 12:45. Start your placement at 1 o'clock. Go till 3:30, and that's the end of your day.
Did you say you opt out of engineering classes?
Yes.
Yeah. You have a question before?
Yeah, what's the process? How are students chosen to be part of the
today.
program?
You can start.
Okay. Well, for today we had a sophomore interest group in which we told them more about the program just like we presented to you today. Had them ask some questions. If they were interested, they had to fill an application, which had like all their basic information, test material. They had to write a one-page essay about how they felt that Mount Sinai would benefit them in some way, or what skills they feel they'd be bringing to the program. And it's also a very academically rigorous course, so your grades have to be up to par in your science, math, actually in every class, because as you heard, Mount Sinai takes a lot out of everything that you've learned in presentation skills, whether that be, you need to know proper English, obviously, to present to people and to approach people in the medical field. So your science, math grades, everything, you have to have a very high caliber of transcript.